Bueno, que los tiempos están cambiando, de eso no cabe ninguna duda. Y que hay nuevos desafíos también. La inteligencia artificial, la tecnología, los desafíos ambientales que también nos entregan oportunidades. Todo esto es lo que tiene que enfrentar el nuevo tipo de trabajo. Y de eso y mucho más es que queremos conversar junto a Joanne. Ella es un STEM, líder en STEM, quien además revoluciona la industria del trabajo. Es la vicepresidenta de Comunicación y Marketing de Procesos Industriales de la División de ABB. Thank you for being with us. It's a pleasure for me to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
So, how are the new forms of leadership evolving?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think today the world has changed so much. So it's volatile, it's complex, it's ambiguous. So I think right now the urgent action is leadership. I think it's really the time for leadership. The way that it's evolving, I think there's probably three things I would say. One is the role of the leader has to move from hero to host. So instead of being the person at the front line, you know, leading charge, it's more about how do you create a space where you can really tap into the collective intelligence of your team. You know, how do you distribute power? How do you distribute energy? How do you make sure that everyone has the safe space to speak? I think the second point I would say in terms of how leadership is changing is, you know, we've gone from IQ to EQ. But I do believe that now we need to move into adaptive intelligence, which means it's really all about being comfortable with discomfort, saying that you don't know, being comfortable with not knowing, and also being curious. You know, you have to be a good leader, ask good questions rather than know. Good question, huh? Yes, rather than knowing all or knowing everything. And I think the third part I would say in terms of how leadership is evolving is I think we're moving from vision to identity. So vision and purpose is very important, but I think the younger generation want more than that. They want more than words. So they care about who you are as a person. What do you stand for? And they really look to your character to make sure that your values and your actions align with your words, which then align with the impact that you make.
We're facing another challenge. It's about artificial intelligence. So how does AI impact the way we work today?
I think AI is so exciting. It is probably...
But also dangerous, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to evolve and move as fast with it and make sure that it's responsible in the way that we use it and develop it. I think the way that it's going to change, it's going to be a collaboration between humans and AI. I don't believe that it's one or the other. I believe that we need to use AI as a collaborator. So how do we use AI to do the routine tasks, do the data crunching, you know, maybe come up with initial ideas or create a foundation that you can then build on. So really it's understanding the potential of AI and viewing it as a collaborator rather than, you know, a copy and paste kind of situation.
Good to know that, because AI is going to collaborate, help us, not replace us.
Not replace us. No, I think AI will augment the workforce. I think AI will actually make us more empowered with smarter tools. So from an industry perspective, I think we would move from a control room to a command center, for example.
Yeah, we have another challenge. Technology also has an impact in the environment. So how can we make the sustainability perspective compatible with the modernization of work? It's a big challenge.
It is a big challenge, and I think it is the defining moment of our time. I think we as leaders and we need to take the accountability and the responsibility to do the right thing. But I think it's also important to know that it's not either or. It's not environmental sustainability or performance. It actually goes hand in hand. So the more that you drive energy efficiency, the more that you reduce waste, the more that you optimize your processes and productivity that has less of an environmental footprint, the more you would perform, the more that your company would reduce costs and also improve performance as well. And consumers want it. You know, customers want to work with sustainable companies. So it's also very important as a brand.
Specifically, future customers, they are going to ask you for your politics about sustainability and whatever. So let's move on, because I need to know what skills be required for jobs of the future, even for the present jobs.
Yeah, I think it's a really great question. You know,
I need to know.
You need to. Yeah. What do you need to for the future job? I think creativity will always have a place. I think problem solving, critical thinking will always have a place. I think as a leader, you need to be able to still connect as a human being, because at the end of the day, we're leading humans, we're leading people. So more the human skills of empathy and understanding and you know, being able to really connect through storytelling, for example, it will always have a place. But then I think in terms of other skills, you know, we will need more data scientists. We know that already in terms of the growth of digital transformation. But, you know, one of the fastest growing skill sets that we see is also prompt engineering. So people who can ask the right prompts, the right questions of AI to be able to then optimize and make the best use of AI. So yeah, those type of skills you should start to.
Yes, creativity emphasis is a very good one, specifically for leaders. So because new generation are different than my generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, for sure. So let's talk about diversity, because diversity adds value to human groups. So, however, there is a lack of inclusion policies in the workplace. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think diversity and inclusion go hand in hand. Without inclusion, diversity, you will not unlock the potential of diversity, because diversity gives you the range, inclusion gives you the reach. So I think from a diversity perspective, yes, of course, we need to make sure that we have representation of different minds, different thoughts, but inclusion is where we need to really ensure that there's psychological safety, that people value each other, that people feel seen, and that we welcome different ideas. Because without inclusion, you won't have the people feeling safe to share their ideas. And that's really the benefit of diversity, is that you have different ways of thinking.
Of course. So also you are a leader in STEM. Yeah, and other challenge. So what is the challenge to improve women's presence in STEM career?
We need more visibility. We need more role models, yeah. So I am a mentor on a program called Superstars of STEM. So it's been a very successful program, because we look at the hard skills. So we coach women in STEM on how to present with media, how to do social media, how to present in conferences and so on, how to communicate, because we realize that the more we can have women in STEM visible in the public domain, the more the girls and women will see that it's possible. You know, it's the whole adage of, if you can see it, you can be it. And right now, I mean, 90% of the scientists on Twitter or X are men. So if girls are seeing, you know, what STEM scientists look like, and they think it's men, then why would they take a STEM role, a STEM study, or a STEM career? But the biggest drop-off we see is that actually there's 50-50 amount of women and men that go through STEM education. But then somehow it drops off. They go into a black hole, and in the senior roles of STEM careers, it's very rare to find a woman in STEM. So again, it's not just about the visibility of the sort of beginning of the career, but also the visibility of women in industry, women in STEM roles, women in leadership, because then that would also inspire people to take on that ambition.
Like you do, so that's good. So how important are human relationships at work, and how do they impact productivity?
It's so crucial.
It's so crucial, yeah.
Yeah. It's so crucial because humans, you're leading humans, and you need to connect with people on the human level. Because it's only when you connect with people on a human level, on an emotional level, do you get trust. And trust is really important to be able to unlock performance, to be able to unlock inclusion, to be able to unlock people wanting to share ideas and innovation. So yeah, we absolutely need, it's fundamental, I think, in terms of having the human skills.
So what is ABB's contribution to all of this challenge?
ABB, I feel so proud to work for ABB. I think ABB is really leading the way in many ways. And right now I'm speaking to you in Chile. I've learned a lot about the Chilean team here. They are so active in terms of gender equality, diversity and inclusion. They've been recognized as the best place to work, best place for women, best place for younger generations. We also got the 3262 certification of, I think we were the first company to get that certification in terms of gender equality as a Swedish company. So they're very active here, and I think it represents also globally our position on this in this space. Of course, we work in industries that are traditionally male-dominated, like mining, metals, pulp and paper, manufacturing industries. So there's still a way to go, but I do believe that there is tangible action and concrete steps to be able to drive more diversity in the workplace.
My last question is for all of us. So what is your message to everybody, everyone who is having a work or a difficult work or is trying to find a place to fit? What is your message?
If there's just one message, I would say be unapologetically yourself. Be authentic. Because it's only when we show up as our authentic selves can we actually show the world that leadership comes in all shapes and sizes and colors and forms. It's not just a certain way. It's not the sort of old school way of what leadership used to be. And it's really important that we show up and show ourselves authentically, and say, this is me, and I'm unapologetically myself, and I'm a good leader. I'm capable, I'm smart, I care about people, I'm here to deliver together. And that way we normalize differences, and we embrace differences. So be unapologetically yourself.
Very nice conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Y bueno, es una conversación en torno a el liderazgo, en cuanto a los consejos que tenemos que recibir a aquellas personas que estamos en el área del trabajo, pero enfrentando también nuevos desafíos, la inteligencia artificial, no temerle a ella, la tecnología y muchísimo más. Así que thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.